I'm Michelle from Weekend Craft, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a Sawgrass sublimation printer. So I have the SG500 here, and it's very similar if you also have the SG1000. So I've gone ahead and unboxed everything, so let's get this set up. Now, before we start, if you guys love crafting, you love sublimation, you also love Cricut crafts, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below because I have a ton of craft content coming your way. Okay, so everything's out of the box, so let's see what we have and start to get this set up. So when you're unboxing, you're going to see that your printer comes and it is taped up with this blue tape, and there's also some pieces of foam inside that need to be removed. Along with this, we have our power adapter, and then this printer is Wi-Fi enabled, but it still comes with the USB cords. So you can see here that there is an installation kit. On the side, it's going to tell you which ink that you have. And then you're gonna open it up and it has the cartridges for your ink. And then it also has the installation guides, which it's very easy to set this up. So you should have 4 different inks. And it should be your CMYK. Now the first thing you want to do is remove all of the tape and any foam that is inside of your printer. You'll see there's a piece of foam that's on the inside here. You want to make sure to get that out. Okay, and we have all the tape and the foam off. So you're gonna pull this compartment down, and this is actually where your ink goes in. So you can see that the colors are labeled below, and that is how we're going to insert them in. So I'm just opening up the box here, and you can see it comes in this packaging. So we're gonna open this up and slide the cartridge right in. So you can see along the back here, this is the part that you want to insert into your machine. It's just as easy as that. So you can see I've added all 4 of our colors following this guide here. And now we're just going to close it up. Now what's interesting on this machine is that your USB, and if you had an internet cable you wanted to add, they go on this side here. So if you guys are looking for that, just keep that in mind. And then your power adapter goes on the left-hand side here. You just want to push that in and then plug this in to your outlet. So it's plugged in, so we're going to click power. And we are waiting for it to turn on. As you can see, it's telling us to wait. Okay, so it is loading the ink, so this can take about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna let this load and we're gonna come back. So you can actually see the ink loading into these tubes, which is kind of fascinating. I've never seen that on a printer before. So that was really cool to see these go from clear to filling them up. So it's telling us to close the cover, so we're gonna close it and give it a couple more minutes to load. I want to walk you guys through how to set this up wirelessly because it is very confusing. So you're going to click on Menu, you're going to go to System Settings, and we're going to go down to Interface Settings. Okay, and then we are going to go down to Wireless LAN Easy Setup. And this is actually not where you want to be. So we want to go back and you're going to click Network, and you're just going to scroll all the way down because it's like the opposite of what you think you're supposed to do. Here you're going to click on LAN type, and we are going to do a wireless LAN. Okay, now we have that programmed. So we're going to go back and we're going to go down to below network to wireless LAN, click OK. And then here we're going to do the wireless LAN easy setup. SSID auto search, click OK. And then you're going to select your Wi-Fi. So for me, it's this top one here. And then this is where you're going to enter your password. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine in and click accept. So now that I have my password typed in, I'm going to click accept, and it is going to connect. You can see the Wi-Fi is flashing here, and our connection has been successful. Awesome. So now that we've loaded in our ink and we have turned the power on and connected the Wi-Fi, we are ready to connect it to our computer. Now I'm going to demonstrate this on a Mac. It's very similar on a PC, but for this purpose, I'm going to demonstrate it on a Mac computer. Now we're going to go to sawgrassinc.com/install. So this is going to be where we download the software and the driver for our computer. So it recognizes that I have a Mac, so I am going to click here for download for Mac. It's going to take a couple seconds to download. And now that that's downloaded, I'm going to double click on this install guide. So we're going to select continue, and then we're going to go ahead and install this. May need to enter your computer password, and then it's starting to install everything. Now you're going to want to go through, read the license if you want, and then click agree. And then I am going to sign up as a new user. So you're going to fill out all of this form here, and you're going to select create an account. Once I do that, I'll come back. So I've went ahead and signed up. And we're going to select sign in on the print manager. And we are going to select our printer, which is the SG500. And for the ink, we're using the Sublimation. I'm going to select next. And we are going to install. Now we're going to select next again. We're going to do this through Wi-Fi. Our power is on. We have enabled our Wi-Fi already, and we are ready to add a printer. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here, and then we're going to do the Sawgrass SG500. We're going to click add, and we are going to let that configure. We don't have any additional tray, so we're going to click OK. And we have our Sawgrass set up here. And just like that, we have finished. Okay, so it's going to walk us through. We have our print manager here. It basically tells us that it can do color management. It shows us our print settings. And then it has a smart folder for quick printing. And then it also shows us our maintenance functions. So Sawgrass also has this Sawgrass Academy where you can kind of learn how to use your machine. One last thing that I wanted to say is that Sawgrass does have a creative studio similar to like a Cricut Design Space or a Silhouette Studio. You can get to it by this URL here, which is gocreativestudio.sawgrassinc.com. And if you need a place just to kind of design your elements before printing them, you can use this. Okay, so now that we have the printer set up, let's print out kind of a test project and see how it works. Okay, so on a Mac, we are going to go into our Sawgrass Print Manager. So you'll see it here in the dock, but it's actually on this top bar. So we're going to click on this and we are going to click into Printer Utilities. And it's going to take a second to load. Okay, so once it loads, it will pop up with your printer status here. So I have not used my Sawgrass yet. So this is putting ink straight in and loading the lines. This is how much ink is left in the cartridges. So we have about 65 to 63% of the ink that's in the cartridge. And then we have 10% waste because there was something that was in those lines in shipping that went into the waste cartridge. Okay, so in here, this is where you can do your nozzle check. If anything is clogged or not printing properly, you can run through this. You can have it do a clean out of the heads, primary chart, full bleed. Okay, so we are going to add our file into Print Manager. So we're going to click Open Local File, select Stay Wild, and now it is loading and processing the color. Okay, so it's important that you want to do this Print Manager Performs Layout. I like to center it. And we don't want to put on any bleed lines. So we'll go to the job. I want this at least to be 9 inches wide. And then we're going to go to color. Again, you can increase the copy amounts here if you wanted to print multiple pages. We're going to do photographic for the color mode, and we are ready to print. So let's select print. So you see your print dialog box is opening up down here. And it is looking for the printer and connecting to the printer. And as you can hear, it's printing. we can see that this ink is actually fused in with the fabric here. Now this is a permanent process, so it's not sitting on top of the fabric, but it is now part of the polyester. So we can stretch with this, we can wash it as many times as we want, and one of the pros for this is you don't need any sort of cutting machine. All you need is your sublimation printer. So honestly, this was so much easier than I thought it was going to be to get this printer set up. Now, if you guys are in between getting a sublimation printer or converting an Epson EcoTank printer into a sublimation printer, I have a video on how to do that below. I will link it in the description. Again, that will be below this video. And if you want to see more sublimation crafts, Cricut crafts, or even some laser cutting projects, hit the subscribe button below, or you can go over and follow me on Instagram. That's @weekendcraft, where I share all things crafty, recipes, and a little bit of lifestyle. So thank you guys so much for joining me today and for setting up your printers with me. Have a great day.